is someone who has worked in many different capacities, but one of the things she did was she helped identify that in some of the vaccines that were coming out, there were some aborted parts that were part of the vaccines, and she's the one that helped blow the whistle. If you guys have seen, there were some undercover videos of Planned Parenthood where they were talking about selling baby parts. The reason those investigations started actually go back to Dr.Deisher finding things appearing in vaccines and different things that should not be there, to raise the question, what's happening, where is this coming from? You guys have a little bit of a bio on Dr. Deisher, but someone that we are very excited to have be a part of the conference and come share with you. If you will please join me in welcoming Dr. Deisher to the stage.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to start first by disclosing that Sound Choice Pharmaceutical Institute is not anti-vaccine. We are for safe and effective vaccines that protect our children, and for vaccines where the consumer is fully aware of all of the ingredients that are contained in the vaccine vial. So the talk today I titled Human Fetal Cell Manufactured Vaccines, How Are They Like Eating Out? And I hope that will become obvious to you in just a few minutes. So we all like to eat out. We like our hamburgers. And Congress is aware that informed consumers are very important. It's very important. And that we should all know what is in the foods that we eat and the foods that we buy at the store. And so in 1990, they passed the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act, which basically says that the nutrients in our foods need to be disclosed to consumers in a way that they can actually read what's in their food. So because of that, we can all know what is in our Big Mac. These are the nutrition facts in your Big Mac. It's only 540 calories. It's not as bad as I actually had thought it was. But you can know what's in there, unless, of course, the server or the cook might add a little extra that isn't regulated, like spit. And this does happen. A disgruntled server, in this case, asked the cook to spit in her client's burger. That's the secret sauce. So if you knew that the cook or server had spit in your burger, would you eat that? No, it's gross, but you could also get sick because there's DNA and viruses that the cook or the server might have in your hamburger. And I guess the question I want to ask today is there like a threshold of spit that would be okay? And I'm supposed to spit in the presentation, but it's not polite to spit in public. So I spit a little earlier on the spoon. I'm not a real good spitter. It's about 1 ml of my spit and my DNA and any viruses I have. You don't know what I have because you don't know me. I just rub it around here. And this is about 25 to 50 micrograms of my DNA, and I just want to know who would like to eat the burger. Okay, that's a lot of spit. Okay, so I'm a lady. I don't usually spit that much. This is a tiny little spit. It's like 1/10 of the spit I put on the last one, and I'm just gonna rub it around. It's about 2.5 micrograms of my DNA and whatever viruses I might have, and we'll get the sauce all spread out. And does someone want to eat this? No? So, too much spit still. So what if I just lick it? So I just lick it. And then I rub it around. Does anyone want to eat this? You don't know me. No. So there's really no threshold below which you want my DNA or my viruses in your food. Is that correct? It's gross, and I could get you sick. So, what if it wasn't your burger? what if it was your friend's burger? And your friend didn't know that the cook or the waitress had spit in their burger. You told them, they didn't believe you, and they were going to eat that burger anyway. What lengths would you go to prevent your friend from eating that burger with that extra little secret sauce? How good of a friend are you really? So, why am I talking about burgers when I'm supposed to be talking about vaccines? And that's because in some of our vaccines, there's a little extra secret sauce that no one is told about. And it's human DNA and retroviruses. And like that spit in that burger, not only is that philosophically gross and disgusting, but it has the potential to make people sick. So we have this Nutrition Labeling and Education Act. We want informed consumers, but for some reason, vaccines seem to have been, kind of given a pass. This is a package insert. It's in every vaccine that's ordered. I printed a real one out. These are the ingredients in the vaccine. These are all the safety studies, the toxicities and everything. No one reads these. Your doctor doesn't even read these, right? But it's microfiche. It's not readable. So I've blown part of a vaccine insert up for you. This is chickenpox. And they disclose that in the chickenpox vaccine, there are contaminants, residual components, of MRC5 cells, including DNA and protein. They don't tell us how much, right? It's not found anywhere. But how many of you know what an MRC5 cell is? People don't know. They call it MRC5. So I don't want to, go into the science on this slide. The take-home point is that there are three main cell lines that are used in vaccine and biologic manufacturing that have been made from the bodies of aborted babies. So there's not aborted baby tissue in our vaccines or aborted baby body parts in our vaccines. There is human fetal DNA and some retroviruses from those babies that were used to make the cell lines that make our vaccines. So whenever you see anywhere MRC5, HEC293, or WI38, or the words human diploid, that is a cell line that was created from the remains of an aborted baby, an electively aborted baby. Miscarriages don't provide good material or good cells for scientists, so these are electively aborted babies. And your doctor might not know about this, but even Wikipedia knows that MRC5 is a cell line that was derived from a 14-week-old baby. So these are the main vaccines that are manufactured using human fetal cell lines. And scientists use cell lines to make vaccines because the viruses they're too large to be made economically in a test tube. So they mimic nature's way of propagating a virus, and they infect cells to grow up the virus for your vaccines. But they cannot purify out the DNA and other contaminants from the cell. So the measles, mumps, and rubella, the chickenpox, the shingles, pentacell, and all hepatitis A containing vaccines are contaminated with human fetal DNA, and in some cases the MMR and the chickenpox and the shingles with the retrovirus. People who don't know what retroviruses are, just for an example, HIV, AIDS, is caused by a retrovirus. So this is like the spit that a discontented server might put in your hamburgers, and it is in the vaccines that we inject into ourselves, into our children. And if we wouldn't eat it, why would we inject it? Which is a much more biologically dangerous route of administration. So I showed you a package insert that's microfiche. No one reads these. Your doctor doesn't read these. I do read these. I'm a scientist. My best friend says I'm a geek and a nerd. So I like to read those. But because of that, Congress has a law that for certain vaccines, a vaccine information statement must be supplied to the patient, to the parent, to the legal representative before a vaccine is injected. I want to point out that they emphasize for certain vaccines. Now, why would it be law that the vaccine information summary has to be given out, right? Is it because they think these certain vaccines are extra safe? No. We read waivers, we sign waivers when there's a known danger present. And what are those certain vaccines? There are 13 vaccines where vaccine information statement is legally required. Now, I don't remember ever being given a vaccine information summary before my children vaccinated. I got one afterwards, but never before. But these 13 vaccines, they require that this statement be given out. And underlined in red, these are all the fetal manufactured vaccines. And including varicella on the bottom, you can't see the red. So we have to have these statements given to us of the benefits and the dangers of all of the fetal manufactured vaccines. So this is the chickenpox vaccine information sheet. You might not want to read that. Some people don't even read that. Actually, I found even scientists, they like to read the title of the publication. Maybe they'll read the abstract, but scientists unfortunately don't even sometimes read the body of the text or look at the data. And I bet a lot of people don't read these, so I decided to blow one up for you. Some people should not get chickenpox or should wait. If you're not given that statement before you get the injection, you wouldn't know that. And anyone who is ill should not get a vaccine. How many times are our children vaccinated when they have runny noses? They might even have a fever. That should never be done. It's clearly stated. Most people don't read this. And what are the risks from chickenpox vaccine? Well, moderate problems include seizures. I mean, if your child goes into a seizure, that I guess that's just moderate. And then there are severe problems that are listed. Again, if you don't read them, you wouldn't know. But one of the serious problems is a severe brain reaction. They say it's rare, but what is rare?